I need to keep fighting the best. I thought the last 3 guys are the best in the world, so I need to keep that run going. And I feel like the AJ rematch would be a positive step. You know, if
Daniel Dubois will defend his IBF World Heavyweight title in February, and Anthony Joshua could very well be the challenger. Daniel Dubois put in the performance of his career against Anthony Joshua last month, legitimizing his status as World Heavyweight Champion. DDD was far too much for Joshua on fight night, dropping him 3 times before an emphatic knockout in the 5th. The win marked his first defense of the IBF belt. Talk has now turned to his next move and whether or not he will indulge AJ in an immediate rematch. Dubois, echoing recent words from his promoter Frank Warren that the second fight is a no-brainer, said that if Joshua wants it, it will happen. Dubois said, "The future is now, what's next? We're making plans for what we're gonna do now. I've heard AJ wants the rematch. We'll see. If he wants it, I want it too. We came out on top on the night. I was the better man on the night, but there's no disrespect. I'm not gonna badmouth him or anything. It was a great fight, and if we can do it again, it'll be even bigger." Asked what the ultimate goal was, the 27-year-old said he wants to collect all the heavyweight titles. As the other 3 major belts are tied up in the rematch between Alexander Usyk and Tyson Fury, he feels another fight with Joshua is a good move. Dubois further added, "I'd love to become undisputed champion, collect all the belts, and do it that way. Really reach the top of my game. I feel like I need to keep fighting the best. I fought the last 3 guys, some of the best in the world, so I need to keep that run going. I feel like the AJ rematch is a positive step, just the way the fight was. It was exciting, everything the fans wanted to see. I'd be even better, even more up for it if we did it again." As for what he might do differently, Dubois believes he will be even more sharp and focused for the rematch. Dubois concluded, "Without giving too much away, I think I'd be more up for it. More belief in myself. I was up for it, but more controlled, more speed, everything. AJ as well, he'll bring it and come to win like he did last time, but I just feel like it's my time. Being a world champion, having the IBF belt, it's just the icing on the cake. I need to keep this run going." Dubois promoter Frank Warren praised his performance, confirming that he would defend his belt again in February 2025. Warren then said that if it was solely up to him, Joshua would be in the opposite corner.
You know, once we know where AJ is, and once we agree to terms, then it'll all fall into place. So and so with me, that's an open door. You're pushing the door open.
Warren believes that the tactics employed by Dubois during his fight against AJ were well executed and led to a deserved victory. He suggests that critics should recognize the effectiveness of Dubois' strategy rather than solely focusing on Joshua's approach. Warren stated, "They keep saying AJ got his tactics wrong. I don't think it was about tactics. The best fighter won on the night. He got it dead right. The tactics Don did a brilliant job. Everything worked out as we thought it would work out by putting him on the back foot." Warren considers it an obvious choice and is hopeful that negotiations will move quickly so that they can plan for an event in February. He also notes that time is of the essence for Joshua, who is approaching an age where he needs to make significant decisions in his career. Warren further added, "For me and Daniel Dubois' camp, the rematch is a no-brainer. I hope it will be worked out this week because February will suddenly be upon us, and we want to get that card in shape. All I know is Daniel will be out in February. The other thing you've got to look at with AJ is he's 35, so you know, or bust." Turki Alalshik also hinted at a potential Anthony Joshua versus Daniel Dubois rematch date. Speaking in a recent interview ahead of the Artur Beterbiev versus Dmitry Bivol clash, the Saudi matchmaker made a series of revelations. Turki stated, "See you in February again, Queensberry against Matchroom, 5 versus 5. We will finish it maybe this week with a big surprise, and then let's see the result about this fight, the result of the big fight December 21st. Alexander Usyk Tyson Fury. Joshua, Dubois, Tyson, Usyk, everyone on the line. This is what we want. We want the big fights and to see who's really the best fighters in each division." Coming to what the pros have to say about the rematch, top promoter Bob Arum has now weighed in with his thoughts, saying he thinks it would be the completely wrong move for AJ to rematch Dubois. He stated, "Does Joshua have any ability to reach the highest level again? That remains to be seen. I think he is very vulnerable. Oh yeah, I think Dubois would stop him again. I think the silliest thing for Joshua would be for him to fight Dubois again. Instead, Arum felt that Dubois should target the winner of the rematch between Tyson Fury and Alexander Usyk in December. Bob further added, that fight makes the most sense, and it does no matter who wins between Usyk and Fury. If Fury wins, it is a fight that would do massively well in the UK where it belongs in Wembley Stadium. If Usyk wins again against Fury, based on the controversy on their last fight, I think it would be a massive fight. If I'm drawing everything up, which I'm not, I think that's the fight where Dubois should fight the winner of Usyk Fury. On the flip side, Eddie Hearn stated that Joshua will never forgive himself if he doesn't take the rematch with Dubois and avenge his devastating defeat against him.
Starts to make it very, I don't think AJ will be able to forgive himself.
Eddie Hearn believes that if Anthony Joshua decides to forgo the opportunity for a rematch, it could have a lasting impact on him, creating feelings of regret that might linger in his mind. Hearn emphasizes the importance of this moment, suggesting that the pressure and stakes are significant. He is confident that this sense of urgency will drive Joshua to embrace the chance to fight again. Hearn feels that the possibility of looking back and wondering what if could be a strong motivator for Joshua to take action, reinforcing the idea that this rematch could be pivotal for his career moving forward. Hearn stated, "What you have is a straight shot at the heavyweight championship against a guy that we believe he should have beaten, and we all believe we can beat. I don't think AJ will be able to forgive himself if he doesn't take the rematch. For me, he'll say, let's run it back." Hearn emphasizes that Joshua's goal isn't just about achieving knockout wins. Rather, his main focus is on reclaiming the heavyweight championship title. Hearn recognizes the importance of fostering a strong mental attitude, but points out that they have already made considerable progress in rebuilding Joshua's confidence after his previous defeats, especially the ones against Alexander Usyk. Hearn further added, he doesn't want knockout wins. He wants the World Heavyweight Championship. I get it. Maybe mentally you go into it with a little more momentum. We ain't got time for momentum. We've done the rebuild. The rebuild was done after Usyk. We had 4 fights, and then we went in with Dubois. If Ben Davison and AJ believe that's the route, then maybe we'll do that. Hearn expresses confidence that Anthony Joshua has the capability to defeat Daniel Dubois, although he is uncertain about the exact timing of their rematch. He mentions that this anticipated fight could take place in February, highlighting that the outcome of the upcoming Tyson Fury versus Alexander Usyk bout will also significantly impact Joshua's future. Hearn acknowledges that the results from that fight could alter the landscape of the heavyweight division, potentially affecting Joshua's path and opportunities moving forward.
Do we wait for Tyson Fury? If Tyson Fury loses, I think AJ and Fury should have 2 fights and sail off into the sunset. If Tyson Fury wins, he defends against AJ for the unified World Heavyweight Championship, so we get another crack at the title there as well. In AJ's mind, he'll want to go straight back in with Dubois. I know what he's like. But this is a very important decision.
But the coach of Daniel Dubois, Kieran Farrell, is firmly convinced that a rematch with Joshua could potentially spell the end of the former champion's impressive career. He expresses concern that another defeat could tarnish Joshua's legacy in the sport. Farrell advises against a quick return to the ring with Dubois, emphasizing the dangers of facing a young and determined fighter. He highlights Dubois' formidable punching power and compares him to a modern-day Mike Tyson, suggesting that if Dubois gets the upper hand, it could lead to a decisive finish. He stated, "If I was advising Joshua, I wouldn't be telling him to jump back in with Daniel Dubois, a young, hungry 27-year-old lion that I see day in, day out. I know what he is capable of, and Joshua does too now. If Daniel has somebody hurt, they ain't gonna see the final bell. He's a devastating puncher, and I'm only talking facts here. He's like a modern-day Mike Tyson, but a bigger version." Farrell also suggests that Joshua should consider focusing on a high-stakes bout with his longtime rival Deontay Wilder instead of rushing into a rematch with Dubois. He believes that this fight could be a critical moment for both fighters, offering a chance to revitalize their careers and legacies after facing recent setbacks. Farrell emphasizes that a win for either Joshua or Wilder could provide a significant boost in confidence, making this matchup an appealing option. He further added, "There are other fights there for Joshua." Farrell insisted, "He can do the Deontay Wilder fight. That would be a good fight between between two massive names who both need a big win right now. A win for either of them in that fight would give them a load of confidence. They've been linked together for a long time and are both now coming off defeats. It would make sense to do that fight.
Teddy Atlas shifts the focus to Dubois' tactical approach during the fight. He highlights how Dubois strategically utilized his jab to create challenges for Anthony Joshua, preventing him from effectively timing his own counters. Atlas underscores the importance of distance management in heavyweight boxing and how Dubois executed this aspect to his advantage. Atlas stated, "He came in behind the jab at the right distance where he could back up Joshua, make it hard for Joshua to time him with right hands, make it difficult, put bugs on the windshield, make it hard to see as he came in. He did that." Atlas elaborates on how this strategy not only disrupted Joshua's rhythm, but also forced him into a defensive mindset. By effectively using his jab, Dubois created openings and minimized Joshua's offensive opportunities, illustrating a calculated approach to the fight. This analysis reinforces the idea that Dubois' success was not just about raw power, it was also about intelligent ring generalship, making him a formidable opponent in their matchup.
The reason, at the end of the day, yeah, he hit him a right hand. Yeah, Joshua showed his flaws, technical flaws. At any time a guy gets knocked out, in my business, it's usually, yeah, the guy's got power, but it's usually because there was a flaw that the guy exploited that landed the punch.
Teddy Atlas emphasizes that while power plays a crucial role in knockouts, it's often the technical flaws in a fighter's technique that lead to their downfall. He highlights that Anthony Joshua's vulnerabilities were evident during the fight, suggesting that Dubois capitalized on these weaknesses to deliver the decisive blow.
Whatever, it's usually a flaw. And the flaws of Joshua definitely were exploited by Dubois. But again, it wasn't that. It was that. But it wasn't. It was the man that was capable of taking what he had to take to get there to throw those punches. Dubois took a couple right hands early on. He took a few. And that's what he did. He took them.
Teddy underscores the importance of technical proficiency in boxing, as even elite fighters can be caught off guard by skilled opponents who can exploit their errors. Furthermore, Teddy Atlas shifts the focus to the physical attributes of the fighters, particularly their chins, which are crucial in determining a boxer's ability to withstand punches. He reflects on the contrasting durability of Daniel Dubois and Anthony Joshua, setting the stage for a comparison of their resilience in the ring. He stated, "When it came down to chins, Dubois' chin was better than Joshua's. People say, well, you got stopped. No, his constitution was weak. His chin was never questioned." Atlas underscores that, despite Joshua's knockout loss, it doesn't necessarily reflect on his chin's strength, but rather on his overall physical condition and mental state during the fight. He implies that Dubois' ability to absorb punishment without faltering played a significant role in his performance, reinforcing the idea that durability is a key factor in a fighter's success.
People say, well, he got stopped twice. No. His constitution was weak. His chin was never questioned. Dubois' chin was never questioned by Joyce, by Usyk, by anyone. It was his constitution, it was his inside, it was his belief. It was that. And now that is fire tested. That is iron now. That is something to be proud of. And he is proud of that.
It highlights the importance of not just power, but also the structural integrity of a boxer's physique when facing heavy hitters. Teddy Atlas passionately emphasizes Dubois' incredible resilience and determination. He paints a vivid picture of the mental battles every fighter faces, illustrating that Dubois didn't just confront his fears, he fought back with unwavering courage.
When the devil knocks at the door, and the devil knocks at everybody's door, in whatever you do. The temptation to give in, to say you're not good enough, I can't handle it, I capitulate, I spit the bid, I quit, whatever you want to call it. The devil knocks at everyone's door. He found out that he could freaking open the door and punch the devil in the face and said, get out of here, get out of here. You're not taking my soul. I am not to be taken. I am not to be grabbed.
Derek Chisora believes that Anthony Joshua should go for a rematch with Daniel Dubois. He expresses confidence in Joshua's ability to win this time around, suggesting that Joshua needs to learn from his past mistakes and make the necessary adjustments. Chisora sees this as a pivotal moment for Joshua to reflect on what went wrong in their first fight and take steps to correct those issues. He said, "The best thing is the rematch. I believe Joshua wins in the rematch. He has to change his ways. He wins in the rematch. He'll go go back and look at it and say, this is what I did wrong, this is what I'm gonna fix, and he'll fix it. That is it. It's just one of those things. Zhilei Zhang offers a stark warning to Joshua regarding a rematch with Dubois, labeling it a potential career-ending fight. He expresses his concerns about the risks involved in taking such a challenging bout. Instead, Zhang suggests that Joshua should consider facing Deontay Wilder, as both fighters are currently at similar points in their careers. He notes that their shared recent losses could make for a compelling matchup. Zhang said, if you're going to a rematch like that, I don't think it's a good thing. I think it's a career-ending rematch if he takes that route. Also, I've heard people say that he has one loss and Deontay Wilder has one loss recently, so I think maybe that's a fight to put together to think about, but I really don't know. It's a question only he, Joshua, can answer based on his own experience. Otto Wallen has also weighed in on the discussion, advising Anthony Joshua to avoid a rematch with Daniel Dubois following his recent loss. Wallen, who has faced Joshua in the past, believes that unless Joshua feels genuinely prepared to win, there's little benefit in taking on Dubois again. He underscores the risks involved in such a matchup after a significant defeat and urges Joshua to carefully evaluate his options before proceeding. He said, I wouldn't advise for it. For now, I don't see a reason for it. The easy answer is to say no, he shouldn't rematch. Wallin also pointed out that Joshua's defensive lapses during the previous fight with Dubois raised concerns about his readiness for a rematch. He noted that Dubois was able to land punches easily, indicating that Joshua may not have been adequately prepared. Wallin believes that Joshua needs to enhance his defensive skills before considering another fight with Dubois, emphasizing that the former champion must be more vigilant to withstand the kind of pressure he faced previously. He further added, Dubois did a really good job. With Joshua, I felt like he was caught off guard. He never got into the fight. That was Dubois' night, that he came out and was able to hit Joshua so easy. When I fought Joshua, he had good defense. I felt it was hard to hit him, but Dubois landed everything. He had his hands really low, which surprised me, and he had his chin up in the air also. Wallen suggested that Joshua may have underestimated his opponent. He believes this miscalculation played a significant role in Joshua's defeat. He emphasizes that if Joshua is genuinely committed to improving and wants to avoid repeating the same mistakes from their initial bout, he might contemplate a rematch. However, Wallen warns that if Joshua is not ready to learn from his previous errors, he should seriously reconsider the idea of stepping into the ring with Dubois again.
At this time, I wouldn't advise for it. But, if Joshua feels that he can change some things and do better, that they know that there's some things that they could have done better, that they have time enough to work on, maybe it could be a good idea. But for right now, I don't see a reason for it. But it obviously can change, but it's really hard to say for me. It's really up to the team, his team and him, and they know how he was looking in sparring. And
Teddy Atlas shared his strong perspective on Joshua's defeat to Dubois, asserting that the fight revealed vulnerabilities in Joshua's skill set. He points out that Joshua's past mistakes, which may have gone unnoticed in earlier fights, were fully exploited by Dubois. Atlas urges Joshua to reflect deeply on his boxing future, particularly if financial gain is his only motivation for continuing. He aligns with Ricky Hatton's suggestion that Joshua should consider retirement if he is solely in it for the money. Atlas said, he's got to decide, do I retire? He doesn't have to fight again. Ricky Hatton said he should retire. I agree with Ricky if it's just about getting another 150 million pounds. If it's that, you've got enough. Go off into the sunset, people love you, but if there's something that keeps you up at night, then you've got to fight again for you, otherwise no. Atlas acknowledges that while Joshua has the potential to improve and make a comeback, he must learn from his experiences and correct the mistakes that have surfaced. He stresses that if Joshua fails to make necessary adjustments, it may be time for him to consider stepping away from boxing altogether. Atlas believes that without a commitment to change, Joshua risks further setbacks that could adversely impact his legacy in the sport. He further added, Joshua got exposed. If you do come back, you have to see what you did wrong and what you've done wrong in the past past. Even if you've gotten away with it, it's still wrong. It has to be corrected. If you correct it, maybe you can come back and do something huge again. Tony Bellew offered his perspective on how Anthony Joshua can successfully face Daniel Dubois in a potential rematch. He is confident that Joshua has the ability to avenge his earlier defeat, provided he makes the right adjustments and employs effective strategy. Bellew highlights the need for Joshua to learn from his past errors, refine his skills, and concentrate on his strengths to secure a win. He draws a vivid comparison to legendary heavyweight battles, suggesting that if Joshua approaches the fight with the right mindset and aggression, he could achieve a decisive victory. He stated, "If he takes the immediate rematch, is it one I think he can win? Absolutely. If Anthony Joshua comes out and lets his hands go and meets Daniel Dubois head on and lands first, the fight is over, but he didn't, and that's not what happened. If Anthony Joshua meets him head on and lets his hands go, it's George Foreman and Ron Lyle all over again. But I'll tell you something, it's over even quicker." Dev Saney says that Daniel Dubois won't shy away from a rematch with Anthony Joshua, or even facing the winner of Usyk Fury 2 next. Sani believes that Dubois has one thing that neither AJ nor Usyk or Fury have, and that's youth.
If it's Anthony Joshua again, I'm sure he won't shy away from that, Daniel Dubois. He'll be like, what? I get to do it again? Great. If it's the winner of Fury Usyk, I'm sure he wouldn't shy away from that either. What he has on his side, compared to all those guys, the guys above him, Fury Usyk, Joshua around him, is youth. He's 27 years old. And these other guys are getting older, and he fights like a young man as well. He fights with someone who just has unlimited, boundless energy.
So what are your thoughts about this situation? Should AJ take the rematch with Dubois? Do let us know in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe and check out some of our other videos on the screen right now.